All children require some form of support during their school career. It may be emotional supports, social supports, or support to participate meaningfully in learning. Our education system seeks to establish schools as the centers for care and support for teaching and learning. This is based on the principle in inclusive education that support should be brought to the child. It is only with the provision of adequate support that real learning can happen. The SBST is strategically poised to make sure that support is available. Support in this context refers to all the activities which increase the capacity of schools to respond to diversity in their learner population. Providing support to individuals is only one way of attempting to make the learning context and lessons accessible to all learners. The school-based support team, previously known as the institutional level support team, is the school-based team responsible for determining the support needs of the school and coordinating support provision at the school. Every school must have an SBST, the Policy on Screening, Identification, Assessment and Support, from DBE contains useful information about the role and functioning of the SBST, as well as the process of providing support for individual learners. The role and function of the SBST is to coordinate all support at school level, identify institutional, educator, and learner support needs, develop strategies to address these needs, coordinate involvement of parents in decision-making and planning for their children. Parents are a key stakeholder in planning support for their children and are easily excluded from this process. Liaison with and coordination of support from the district. Evaluate and monitor support strategies. The SBST is responsible to work collaboratively with educators to assess individual learners' support needs and the development of support plans to draw in needed resources for support provision. For example, materials, as well as drawing professionals onto the SBST when necessary, such as therapists and NGOs. The SBST is composed of the following members: the coordinator, learning support teacher, where schools have one, a representative of the senior management team, and a representative of each phase. It also includes the particular teacher of learners who are being discussed, as well as their parents. Other members can be specially co-opted to form part of the SBST when their expertise are required, such as teachers within the school with special expertise, as well as therapists or other experts. The SBST coordinator is responsible to lead the SBST and to ensure that meetings and activities take place regularly. The coordinator usually works closely with the learning support teacher, where schools have one. The learning support teacher has skills that enable them to give valuable input and advice regarding academic support learners. A representative of the SMT forms part of the SBST. This ensures that from a management perspective, the SBST is fully functional and gives guidance as required and also strategic decision-making where needed. A representative of each phase to ensure that the whole school is represented. Co-opted teachers of learners under discussion and their parents from a significant part of the SBST for a certain period of time when the relevant learner is being discussed. Co-opted teachers with relevant expertise are included. For example, a teacher with specific skills regarding speech and language will be valuable to include in a session for a learner with such support needs. Co-opted therapists or other support providers. Schools are encouraged to reach out to external therapists or support providers and invite them to advise in various cases. In practice, we have found that where it is not possible to get such therapists in to attend meetings, many are keen to share advice and strategies that may be shared during the SBST meeting. It is important to mention that responding to individual learner support needs is only one of the functions of the SBST, albeit a very significant one. SBST meetings should not just be case study meetings. Effective SBSTs are able to coordinate all support provision at school level. It is not expected of schools to have all support measures in place at school level. There are various sources of support that can be accessed, such as circuit team, district-based support team, inclusive education team, parents, educator, and community. SMT are more than an admin team. They set the tone for the school, ethos, and culture. The DBST play an important role in facilitating training for SBSTs and educators, and assisting educators with specific interventions. Parents provide insights about their child. They can work in partnership with all players involved in educating and supporting the learner, and initiate contact with the educator regarding the child's progress. They can also provide necessary support to their children at home and school. Educators plan intervention and support for learners who need it. In cooperation with parents, ensure that learners achieve their full potential and create a learning environment that encourages learning for all. SBSTs are encouraged to implement the following to determine how support provisions can be coordinated at school level: community mapping exercise, developing a directory of services, developing a support coordination plan, example, a timetable to coordinate how support was brought into the school. The CS policy underpins the functioning of the SBST and includes a protocol to be used by SBSTs in the process of screening, identifying, and assessing barriers experienced by learners, with a view towards planning support provisions. The roles and functioning of the SBST as discussed is outlined too, and the policy also aligns with strategies which aim to support teachers, managers, and parents in schools. The SBST can play a vital role in ensuring the schools access as much support as possible, and consequently is able to offer learners the support they need in order to effectively participate in learning.